Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Alhamdulillah, today we will continue our program or our lesson in the book. It's called Understanding Tajweed by compilation by Al-Furqan Academy. We are doing the learning the fundamentals, ta'limul asasiyat for Tajweed. Okay. So sebelum ni we have covered the first chapter and it's all about the huruf or letters. Huruf-huruf dalam Al-Quran yang kita akan jumpa, and all the huruf in the Quran is actually specifically has each letter has their own makhraj and a sifat or attribute. Okay, inshallah we will cover that soon. So today we're gonna go to the 17th page 17, introduction to the letters. Actually this topic today that we're going to cover is how to write each letter based on its position. So inshallah we will share the screen, the page 17, muka surat 17 ini. Muka surat 17 ni pengenalan kepada huruf. Macam mana kita nak tulis setiap huruf tu berdasarkan kedudukan dia dalam tulisan. Contohnya macam alif. Kalau dekat depan, dia boleh sambung dengan huruf apa? Tak ada. Sama macam kalau dia duduk kat belakang, ataupun tengah-tengah, nanti boleh sambung dengan certain ataupun some huruf or some letters can be joined by with alif. Okay. Okay. Page 17, kita boleh keluar. Okay. So you can see on the screen, in writing, the letters are divided into 3 categories. Which is first one, these letters will be cut vertically when located at the beginning and in the middle of the word. When they are located in the middle, the shape will slightly change, but the dots will remain the same. So every huruf, every letters which has a dots, the dots will remain the same. It won't change the dots. Okay. Now we see ba, ta, tha, fa, qaf, nun, lam, kaf, ya, and ha. Okay, for ya, sometimes ya, they will not put the dots, but in when the ya is connected to something else in the middle, the dot will be appear there. Okay, so that's the huruf that will be cut vertically when located at the beginning. When these huruf or these letters is in the beginning and in the middle of a word, and then the shape will slightly changed. Okay, slightly changed, but the dots will. So we can see ba. It still look like ba, but the end is it's like a straight end. Same ta and tha also the same. Noon as well. And ya. Ya from the shape like S, right? Letter S in Roman writing, and then it will lose the first, I call it hook at the top. Okay, so it will come like bata or tha and nun, but the dot will differentiate. Okay, so huruf bata, tha, fa, qaf, nun, lam, kaf, ya dengan ha ni, bila kita sambung, bila dia kat depan atau kat tengah dan dia bersambung dengan huruf lain lagi, kita akan nampak dia dalam keadaan dia ada macam line straight dekat ujung dia. Okay. Dan ha tu, yang last ha, dia sometimes dia ada apa ni, macam panjang lagi sikit. Tak apa, nanti insyaAllah kita jumpa. Okay, number two, these letters will be cut horizontally in the beginning and in the end of a word. Okay. Huruf yang dalam nombor 2 ni, dia akan terpotong kat bawah dia, ataupun dia akan potong dan pergi horizon, mana pergi straight lah, macam kat atas tadi juga sebenarnya. Tapi huruf-huruf yang nombor 2 ni, bentuk dia asalnya lain. So bila dia bersambung dengan huruf lain, dia akan membentuk yang hujung dia yang kat bawah, dia akan kadang-kadang ditukar, macam jim, ha, kha ni, mim ditukar pergi ke sebelah. Macam sin, dia dah tak sin, shin, sa, dad, dia dah tak ada rumah yang bawah tu. The sin, shin, sa, dad, the hook below hook will go straight only, horizontally. Okay, number 3, these letters will not change in any position. Only ta and dha can be connected to a letter that follows. Maksudnya yang nombor 3 ni, these letters will not change. Huruf-huruf ni tak akan berubah langsung dalam semua keadaan. Alif, dal, zal, ra, zai, waw, hamzah, ta dengan dha. Okay, cuma ta dengan dha yang boleh sambung dengan huruf selepas dia. Okay, ta dengan dha saja yang boleh sambung dengan huruf selepas dia. Yang selain daripada tu, alif tak boleh sambung huruf selepas dia. Dal, zal tak boleh. Ra dengan zai, nak sambung dengan huruf selepas dia, apa-apa saja huruf tak boleh. Waw pun tak boleh. Hamzah pun tak boleh. Okay, so we cannot connect alif, dal, zal, ra, zai, waw, hamzah, and hamzah with the next letters or the next huruf. Only ta and dha can connect to the next huruf. All letters will remain in their original shape at the end of the word. Kalau kalau huruf tu duduk kat belakang sekali, apa-apa huruf kat belakang, dia tak akan berubah shape dia. For example, jim, ha and kha. Okay, if these 3 letters are at the end of a word, the shape of jim, ha and kha will not change. All right, so page 18, surah 18. Okay, we go one by one. Okay, name of the letter, alif. al-alif. Okay, al-alif. In the beginning of the word, okay, bila di awal, di permulaan perkataan, alif, dia akan nampak macam alif lah. Macam dekat name of the letter tu. Name of the letter is the same when it is in the beginning of a word. For example, alhamdu. See, the first letter is alif. So it will appear the same as it is. And then in the middle of a word, okay, in the middle of a word, usually, usually. So the example is malun, kitabun, zilalun. Okay. If it is connected to lam, it will be slightly narrow, like this. Other than that, mostly it will connect with the letter before, and then the shape is still the same, it's just connected. Okay, at the end of a word, at the end of a word. So if it's at the end of a word, it's the same as in the middle of a word, the huruf alif, the letter alif. And so maksudnya dalam bila alif ni dalam apa ni penulisan, bila dia ada kat tengah-tengah perkataan ataupun di hujung perkataan, dia akan tetap sama antara dua keadaan ni. Cuma ni dia bersambung dengan huruf yang sebelum dia. Sebelum tengok itu malun, kitabun, zilalun, hakiman, alif ke ujung, dengan kula, ataupun kalla pun sama. So kalau pada huruf lam, biasanya kita akan nampak alif ni dia sengit. Okay? And then at the end of a word without joining. Ada juga macam dal dengan zal, dia tak boleh sambung dengan alif. Kan tadi kita sebut ra pun tak boleh. Zai. So kita tengok sini, hadza. So bila kita nampak macam ni, alif dia tetap sama macam yang asli dia lah. Asal dia. Okay. Second one, ba, al-ba, al-ba'un. Okay, al-ba, bila dia dalam keadaan bersendiri ataupun dia satu seorang-seorang je, ba, when it's on its own, it will look like on the name of the letter. And then in the beginning of a word, it will look like the end slightly goes straight. So al-baytun, baytun, baladun. Okay, baytun, baladun. The example, baytun, baladun. For in the middle of the word, saburatun, saburatun. See, you can see there, it is slightly the same as the one in the beginning. It won't change much for batasa. So you can see here, saburatun, the ba, bu, and the hablun, hablun. It will connect as it is, as you can see above the word saburatun and hablun. And then when it's at the end, ainabun, katabun, it will look like that. Okay. When it's at the end, without joining, you can see abun, kitabun. Usually, we'll see ba. We can notice ba. Huruf ba is most situation or position, it is the same. So huruf ba ni dia tak susah sangat sebenarnya. Kalau kita tengok yang asal dia ba is macam tulis dekat name of the letter tu, nama huruf. and then bila dia masuk permulaan, pertengahan ataupun perakhiran perkataan yang bersambung ataupun perakhiran yang tak bersambung, huruf ba ni dia tak banyak tak banyak orang panggil berbeza. Sama juga dengan ta dengan sa. Kita go through As-sa'un. At-ta'un. At-ta'un. For example, dia give example here, tajweedun dengan tamrun. Samalah macam ba tadi. Dia posisi dan kita nak is the same as ba. The only thing that we want to look is the dots. Ba has the dot below. Ta has the 2 dots above. Okay. So, and then for when it's in the middle of a word, miftahun, mitzrun, samalah, same as ba. And then sabtu, as-sabtu dengan lauhatun. Untuk ta ni dia ada satu jenis ta lagi. For ta, there's an ending of there's a huruf called that is called ta marbutah. It will sound ta when we continue recitation, but when we stop recitation, it will give the sound ha, the normal ha. Okay, lauhatun. If we stop there, it will give the sound lauha. Okay, so that's the. And then this ta marbutah is only appears at the end of a word. It cannot be in the beginning and then in the middle of a word. Okay. All right. The next one. Sorry. Huruf ta ni dia ada satu tulisan dia bila kita sebut huruf ta, dia ada satu huruf yang kita tak nampak dalam daripada alif sampai ya bila kita baca. Huruf ni dipanggil ta marbutah. Ta marbutah ni bila dia duduk bila dia memang dia akan ada di akhir perkataan je. Dan bila kita berhenti baca masa kita mengaji, kita berhenti pada huruf ta tu, dia tak bunyi ta, dia akan bunyi ha. Tapi kalau kita sambung, dia akan bunyi ta. Contoh kat sini, tengok dekat at the end of the word tu, lauhatun. So bila kita sambung macam lauhatun apa-apa, kita baca tun. Tapi kalau kita berhenti, dia akan jadi lauhah. Sayyaratun sama. Bila kita berhenti, dia akan jadi sayyarah. Okay. Okay. Next is the huruf as-sa'un. Is almost the same as ba, ta as well. So we look at the example there. Thawbun, tha'labun, mithalun. That one is for the thawbun and tha'labun is for in the beginning of a word, and then in the middle of the word, mithalun, kathirun, and then at the end of the word, hadithun, muthallathun, and at the end of a word that cannot be joined, athathun, mihrasun. Itu contoh untuk huruf sa. Okay, tak banyak beza dengan, cuma we have to notice the dots, the 3 dots. Sa has 3 dots. Okay, huruf sa ada 3 dot. Itu je lah kita nak bezakan. The next huruf is al-jimun. Huruf jim. Okay, in the beginning of a word, the huruf jim will look like there, the first row, jim. Jabalun, the hook below disappear because it connect to the next, If we see the example Jabalun, you connect with ba, and then the other one you connect with ha. Okay, Jabalun and Jihadun. If it's in the middle of a word, look at the example. Ihjarun al-jannatu. The jim become same as if it's in front, but it's just it can be connected to the previous huruf. Okay, and then at the end of a word, we have the example here. Hajjun, not hajjun, hajjun, and then khalijun, khalijun, teluk. Okay, jabalun. Sorry, khalijun, and then the last one is when it's at the end of the word, but it cannot be connected. The example here is burjun and maujun. So nampak sini jim bila dia boleh sambung, cangkuk dekat bawah dia tu hilang, disambung dengan huruf yang selepasnya. Okay, so boleh tengok situ contoh dia jabalun, jihadun, bila dekat tengah ihjarun, al-jannatu, bila dekat belakang hajjun, khalijun. Bila dekat belakang tak boleh sambung pun sama. Dia akan jadi bentuk asal dia. Bila kita tengok, kita ingat balik muka 17 tadi dia dah cakap bila semua huruf akan berada pada keadaan asal dia bila duduk kat belakang sekali. When a letter is at the end of the word, it will be as the same as its original shape. Okay. Jim, ha dengan kha ni dia lebih kurang sama. So kita tengok we see jim, ha and kha is all the same when it's connected to another word in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end, but cannot doesn't connect to the previous letter. It will be the same, jim, ha and kha. We see the example here. Hisanun, kuda. Hasanun, lihyatun, janggut. Bukhurun, bukhurun. Bukhurun ni lah benda ni. Yang kita letak ni, kita bakar, jadi bukhurun lah. Okay. Fataha. Sorry, ni bukan bukhurun, sorry. Buhurun. Buhurun ni lain. Buhairah, okay. Fataha. Kalau bukhurun, kha, huruf kha, sorry. So, fataha, najihun. Lauhun, ruhun. Okay, so every the huruf ha, when you see, it's all the same as jim and kha. In the middle, in the beginning, and at the end, all the same. You just go for the example. For al-kha'un, kha, huruf kha. The example is khubzun, khubzun dengan khairun. Khubzun, khairun. To be at the beginning, in the beginning of the a word, and then in the middle of a word, nakhlatun, thakhinun. Okay. The next, at the end of a word, matbakhun, tarikhun. Okay. And then at the end, without joining, khukhun, sarukhun. Okay. The next two is dal and ra. Okay. This letter, as we know before, when it's connected to other huruf, the letter will not change. Tengok kat sini, bila huruf dal and ra, dal, zal, ra, zai actually. Bila disambung dengan huruf lain, dia tak berubah. It won't change. Okay, so you tengok kat sini. We look at the first in the beginning of a word, dan dikun, dukkanun. And in the middle of a word, hadiqatun, sadrun, diqatun. See? And then shadidun at the end of a word. Shadidun, shahidun. What else? Khalidun. Semua is all ended with dal. So the shape won't change. And then midadun, baridun. Same, it won't change. So huruf dal dengan zal, bila dia kat belakang ke, kat tengah ke, kat depan ke, dia akan nampak macam dal, macam itulah. Dia tak akan berubah. Okay, for zal, azalun. Tadi ad-dalun, dal, azalun, zal, zal. Zahaba, zakiyun. Itu in the beginning, permulaan, zal dekat permulaan. Yadhkuru, dal dekat tengah, dal, zal dekat tengah, zal in the middle. And then fakhdun, ladhidun. Nampak tu? Dia ke ujung perkataan, ke akhir perkataan, dan bersambung dengan perkataan sebelum dia, sama je. Ustazun. Shape dia sama. The shape is all the same. Same goes to ra and zai. Okay. Rajulun, Ramadanun. That one, these two is in the beginning. Tarmihim, in the middle of a word. Hajarun, ahmarun, at the end of the word, but connected. Nurun, jizarun, at the end of the word, without joining. So sama, ra, dal, zal, ra, zai, dia semua sama. Dia tak boleh, dia tak akan berubah. Kalau Quran lama, mungkin dia ada, mushaf lama, ada perbezaan sikit kalau ra dengan zai ni. Kadang-kadang dia tak tajam sentiasa tu ujung tu, dia just lalu macam tu. Dia macam wow sikit. Tapi mushaf baru, dia tak berubah. Okay. Next, az-zayun. Zayyun. Az-zayun. Okay, zai. Zai ni dia macam ra tadi lah. Zai is same as ra. In the beginning, zahratun, you cannot connect. Ziyaratun, but the shape is the same. In the middle, tazkiratun. Tazkiratun. Okay. Tazkiratun, the shape is still the same. Khubzun, same. Khubzun. Tadi dah nampak khubzun. Tadi dah ada dah dekat huruf kha. Tapi yang tu kha ni dia dekat permulaan. It's in the beginning of the word. But for zai, it is at the end of the word. Khubzun. And then at the end, without joining, kuffazun and mauzun, pisang. Okay. Next one, as-sinun and as-shinun. As-sadun, sad, and then ad-dadun, dad. These four are all the same. When it is alone, when they are alone, it will have the hook down there, okay, at the end. Okay, so, but when it's in the beginning of a word and connected, the hook is gone, but it will appear at the same level as the first two hook. Okay. Sayyaratun, example, and suratun. In the middle, lisanun mistaratun. Ya isa at the end, ya isa and ba'isun. And at the end, without joining, qamusun, ra'sun, ba'sun. When it's at the end, it will change to the original shape. Okay. Ashin, we see the example, shahrun, shimalun, mishtun. For the, when it's in the middle, mishtun, asharatun. When it's at the end, ushun, mishmashun. At the end without joining, firashun, a'shashun. Okay. You see sad and dad now. Suratun, siratun in the beginning, and then in the middle, it will look like in the beginning, but it can be connected. Qasrun, hisanun, and at the end, qamisun, maqasun. See, it will appear as the original shape. And then when it's at the end without joining, it's the same. For sad and dad, the example, da'ifun, yadhaku, tafaddal, baydun, maridun, fardun, ardun. You can see that in the middle of a word. Muka surat 20 dah ni. Okay, so kita see, kalau kita tengok semua huruf sin, shin, sad dengan dad ni, dia cangkuk kat bawah tu pada rumah ketiga dia akan hilang bila dia ada pada permulaan dan bersambung, ataupun di pertengahan dan dia bersambung. Bila dia berada di akhir kalimah, joining bersambung ataupun tak sambung ke, wajah dia ataupun bentuk dia akan sama seperti yang asli dia. Okay. Shin, sin, sad dan dad. Okay. Dan seterusnya, at-ta'un, al-dha'un. Ta dengan dha. Ta dengan dha ni dia lebih kurang macam sad dengan dad tadi, bentuk dia. Cuma dia tak ada rumah, dia ada kaki. Banyak orang kadang-kadang confused. A lot of people get confused with sad, dad, ta and dha. Because the first shape of the huruf or the letter. Okay, but to make sure we don't read it wrong, is we see the leg for ta and dha. Ta and dha has the leg. Sad and dad has the hook. Okay. So we see ta and dha, the example here in the beginning, talibun. So it's the same. Ta'amun, also the same. Matarun in the middle, ta in the middle, still the same. Look like ta. Khutabatun, we already discussed earlier. Ta and dha will not change in any position. What were the huruf that cannot be changed? Alif, dal, zal, ra, zai, waw, hamzah, ta and dha. It will not change in any position. Hafizun, hafiza, sorry, ta is not finished yet. Qittun, nashitun at the end, ta at the end, and then we connected to the previous letter. And khututun, amshatun. Okay, same. We cannot see the changes of the letter. Same as dha, zahrun, zarfun. Dha in the beginning and dha in the middle. Nazifun, عظيم. Dha at the end. حفظ, حافظ. And then in the at the end without joining, محفوظ. See, the dha and ta will not change. The next huruf is a bit tricky. Ain and ghain. Ain and ghain. This one we have to look closer or focus a bit more. Okay. Untuk ta dengan dha tadi dia tak berubah dalam keadaan semua keadaan. Dan untuk ain dengan ghain ni siapa yang tak pernah. Sekarang now is on page 20. Okay. So ta, ain and ghain. Okay. Ain and ghain is a little bit it's not hard, it's just a little bit we need to be focused more. Okay, ain, when it's at the beginning of a letter, a word, the hook down there also missing. It goes straight to the next huruf. When it's connected, before and after, it will look like, you see that screen can show ain, the second ain in the middle of the word, and then if it's at the end, it will look like the one in the middle, but it has the hook again. And then if it's at the end without joining, it will look like the original shape. The example here, umratun and asrun, if it's in the beginning, af'a ba'udatun, if it's in the middle of the road, this is ain still, sami'a qata'a, if it's at the end of the word, dhira'un damu'un, if it's at the end without joining. Same as ghain, we just see the example. Ghaniyun ghurabun maghribun saghirun maghfiratun, all the same. Okay. Samghun, this one, ghain at the end. Balaghun fazighun, at the end without joining. Okay, next huruf is al-fa'un. Al-fa'un, fa, huruf fa pula sekarang. Huruf fa yang muka surat 10 ni dekat bawah sekali. Okay. Untuk ain dengan ghain, insyaAllah kita dah nampak. So, fa, filun, faqirun, in the beginning of a word. Itu untuk permulaan. Dia akan nampak lebih apa, simple, more is simpler than the original shape. At the end, it doesn't go up, it will go straight to the next huruf. Okay, and then when it's connected, and when it's in the middle and connected before and after, it will look a bit like ghain, but usually ghain, it has the sharp end at both sides, or at least one side. For fa, it will look round, just round. You see the example, tufahatun, tiflun. And if it's at the end, it will look most likely like the original shape. Also when it's at the end without joining. Okay, so huruf fa ni bila dia duduk kat tengah-tengah dalam perkataan, dia akan nampak sedikit macam ghain. Tapi ghain ni dia akan ada tajam. Dua-dua hujung dia, ataupun at least ataupun sekurang-kurangnya satu hujung ada tajam. Kalau fa, dia akan bulat. Itu beza fa dengan ghain bila dekat tengah. Okay. Qafun, al-qafun. Qafun ataupun qaf, dia macam fa juga, lebih kurang. Cumanya qaf ni dia lebih pendek sikit. Kalau kita perasan betul-betul, qaf ni dia lebih pendek. Cangkuk dia tu cepat masuk. Kalau fa dia panjang sikit. So qaf dia sama macam fa. Qaf, the shape is actually, if we see closely, the shape is slightly different than fa. The qaf is slightly shorter. If you see fa, the end, it goes a bit longer than qaf. Okay, by the way, in the beginning, qaf of qaf, okay, the example here, qadimun, qalilun, qiyamun, qurratun, Quran. Itu semua qaf in the beginning. And that's all in the beginning, qaf in the beginning. In the middle, qaf will look like that, like this. I mean, same like fa, but it has 2 dots. In any ways, when we see 2 dots with a round shape, it is qaf. Burtuqalatun, aqiqatun. Ada 2 kali tu untuk 2 times aqiqatun. It's in the middle. Okay, aqiqatun. It will look like that. Sadiqun, at the end of a word. Shaqiqun, and at the end of the word without joining. Sidqun, sunduqun, funduq, funduq. Sama lah. Okay. The next one, al-kafun, kaf. Kaf ni dia special sikit. This is, the huruf kaf is so special. It's a bit special. I mean, it can appear in many faces or many shapes. You see the first one, in the beginning, it will look like this. Okay, kaf, page 21, muka 21, dah sekarang. Huruf kaf, kitabun. When it's in the beginning, it will look like this. Okay. Or in the above box, it can be look like that, slightly longer the hook to come back. Okay. Or if you see the word kitabun, it's slightly shorter. Okay. When it's in the middle, shukran maktabun. See, it doesn't actually change a lot, but kaf is written as this, these 2 example in the middle and the beginning. And then for at the end of a word, kaf will look like lam. But if you see inside, it has the small kaf inside. That's not hamzah. Usually people say, oh, it's like the sign hamzah. No, it's the small kaf inside. Look properly, it's a small kaf. It's the same when it's in at the end of a word, not joining. So kaf can be appear like this. You can see example, malikun, samakun, yadaka, taraka. So kaf ni dia special sikit. Bila dia di awal perkataan, bentuk dia macam dalam kotak atas dia tu, kaf tu. Ataupun dalam perkataan kat bawah tu, kitabun tu. Bila dia dekat tengah, lebih kurang dengan yang permulaan, tapi dia kadang-kadang dia macam lain sikit. Boleh tengok kat sini. Syukron maktab. Bila kat ujung, sama ada sambung ke tak sambung, dia macam lam sikit. Tapi dia ada huruf kaf kecil dalam, kalau perasan. Kebanyakan orang, daripada saya pun dulu ingat, macam huruf hamzah kecil kat dalam tu kan. Sebenarnya tak. Kalau tengok betul-betul dia adalah huruf kaf yang macam yang awal tu. Nampak huruf kaf dekat kitabun dengan syukran. Dia macam tu. Tak tanda tu. Hamzah dia macam ain. Kan? Cuma dia tak boleh sambung dengan siapa-siapa. Pun disambung dengan apa-apa. Okay. So lam. Next one is lam. Al-lamun. Lam. Lahmun ladhidun. Example. Qalbun alimun in the middle. Faslun jamilun at the end without joining. Joining with previous huruf. Hilalun shawalun. This one at the end without joining. This is how lam will look. Lam, if it's in the middle or in the beginning, the hook is the same level as the other huruf. But when it's at the end, the hook goes slightly lower. Can see jamilun, faslun tu. If you can see that, boleh tampak kat situ dia macam panjang sikit kalau dia kat ujung. Kalau dia kat depan, dia akan sama level dengan huruf-huruf lain. Lahmun, ladhidun, qalbun, alimun. Bila dekat ujung je, dia macam panjang sikit kat bawah. Faslun, jamilun. Okay. Ada berapa huruf? Ada 5-6 huruf. Okay. Mim, al-mimun. Mim. Okay. Mim, bila dia when it's in the beginning, in Malay we call it tail, echo. Mim tu ada echo bawah kan. Kalau dia turun ke bawah tu, when it goes down, the mim we call it mim long tail, with long tail. Mim ekor panjang lah. When it's alone, but the tails go aside, we call it mim with short tail. Okay, mim ekor pendek. Kalau macam we see the example, in the beginning of a word, mim will look like this. It will go to the side. Masjid, masjidun, muslimun. See, it doesn't go down. The same thing when it's in the middle. Hikmatun, tamrun. And then when it's at the end, it will appear as with the long tail. Muslimun. At the end, tengok see the end of the word. Muslimun, hakimun. Okay. You will have the long tail. Long. And then qadamun, haramun. That's how mim will look like. And then an-nun, noon. So noon will be we will see noon as bata and tha. Naharun, see the example. Naharun, najmun, when it's in the beginning. Safinatun, ainabun, in the middle of a word. Yaminun, mu'minun, in the end at the end of the word. Mu'adhinun, asnanun, at the end of the word without joining. And nun will look when it's at the end, the hook at the end will be slightly bigger. And ha, this huruf al-ha'un, ha, this huruf is actually also the most special lah. Huruf yang paling special apa bahasa Melayu? Special. Special lah. So bila dia dekat depan, when is the ha is in front of a word, you'll see ha will be looking like this. Okay? Ha. Okay? When it's in the middle, it will become like this. It has like 2 round or 2 sphere. Shahidun, shahrun, that's in the middle. Okay. For the one in the beginning, hilalun hadiyatun or hadiyatun. Okay. And then at the end of the word, it can look like this, like the word, like the ismul jalalah, Allah, wajhun, fawakihun. It will look like this. And then when it's at the end as well, but without joining, it will look like number 5, Arabic number 5, or round, something just like that. Wujuhun hadhihi. That's how ha can be like 4 faces, 4 shapes. Okay. And then the last page, page 22, muka 22. Sorry, tadi kita nak cerita ha sikit. Ha ni dia, wajah dia, muka dia ada, muka surat 21 balik. Ha ni dia ada 4 wajah ataupun 4 bentuk dalam keadaan berbeza. Bila dia kat permulaan perkataan, dia akan nampak macam tu. Pada hilalun, hadiyatun. Bila kita kat tengah, dia akan nampak syahidun, macam ada 2 bujur. Syahrun. Bila kat ujung, dia ada 2 keadaan pula. Kalau ujung tu bersambung, dia akan jadi macam perkataan Allah. Wajhun tu, nampak? Fawakihun. Dan kalau dia tak bersambung, pada hujung, dia akan nampak macam nombor 5 Arab. Bulat. Macam round tu. Okay. Soalan kedua, huruf waw, hamzah dengan ya. Waw dulu kita ambil. First one is al-waw. Waw. Bila, when it's in the beginning, waw will look like normal because it cannot be connected to the next huruf. The example here, waladun, walimatun. Waw bila dekat depan, dia tak berubah sebab dia memang tak boleh sambung dengan huruf selepas dia. Contoh dia waladun, walimatun. When it's in the middle of a word, still look like waw. It's just connected to the previous huruf. Waw ni sama kalau dia duduk kat tengah-tengah pun dia sama. Sebab dia akan, tengah dengan ujung sama. Sebab dia memang tak boleh sambung dengan perkataan ataupun huruf selepas dia. Waw ni. So kita tengok ini, kalau dia kat tengah, when it's in the middle or at the end, it will look the same. Because waw cannot be connected to the next huruf anyways. Maw'idun for in the middle, and at the end, hulwun, dalwun. Okay. Qalu. Example. Okay. So, dia memang tak boleh nampak macam lain. Dan memang tak boleh sambung dengan huruf lain selepas waw. Hulwun, dalwun. At the end, bila dia kat ujung, dia akan tanpa boleh sambung. When it's at the end, without joining, it will look the same as well. Okay, al-hamzah, hamzatun, al-hamzatun. Huruf hamzah. Okay. Huruf hamzah ni dia tak akan berubah. It will not change in any ways, like waw as well. But hamzah, sometimes you just need to focus on the small hamzah, because it will sometimes appear on above alif or below alif, before alif, or it will appear on a hook suddenly without any dots, but it's hamzah there. Okay, for in the beginning, Ahmad. You see Ahmad. What else? Ahmar. Okay. So in the beginning, in the middle, when it's in the middle, bi'run. See? Mi'zanatun. See, there's a hook or a loop. You can call it loop or hook. Okay, loop is better. Loop. When it's above a loop or under a loop, it's still hamzah. Just focus on the hamzah, the shape that looks like ain, but it's smaller than ain. Okay, bila dia dekat depan hamzah ni, dia akan duduk dekat atas ataupun kat bawah, ataupun sebelum alif. Okay. So bila dia dekat tengah, dia mungkin akan ada pada satu rumah kosong. Tapi ada hamzah kat situ. Dia akan, bentuk dia macam ain, tapi dia tak ada cangkuk kat bawah. Dan dia lagi kecil daripada ain. So kita fokus dekat bentuk yang ain yang permulaan tu je. Dia kecil. So tu hamzah lah. Kadang-kadang dia akan duduk atas waw. Atas waw. Bila duduk atas waw, dia waw tu tak ada bunyi lah. Dia hamzah. Okay. Dia ada, kat sini dia tak ada tunjuk waw. Tapi memang dalam ni kita akan nampak hamzah ni dia akan ada di atas waw, tapi dia untuk middle of a word or end of a word. Dekat permulaan word, so far saya rasa tak ada hamzah ni duduk atas perkataan apa ni, dalam apa ni, dalam rumah atau cangkuk tu ataupun atas waw. Kebanyakannya pada huruf alif. Okay, so when it's in the middle of a word, it can appear on a hook or waw, but it's still hamzah. Just concentrate on the small shape, looks like ain, that's hamzah. Mi'zanatun, okay, and then syai'un for the end, and mala'un can appear on alif or ya at the end, but still the sound is hamzah. And then if it's at the end without joining, you can see qara'a, juz'un, qari'un, same. Okay, just focus on the shape of hamzah. Okay, the last one is al-ya'un, huruf ya. Huruf ya ni dia kadang ada titik, kadang tak ada titik. Tak kisah. Okay, bila dia tak ada titik, tiba-tiba ada rumah, ada titik, itu ya. When we see a letter that has no dots, but it has like a loop, it's ya. Know that it's a ya. Okay. For example, ya at the beginning cannot be without dots. Okay, never ya in the beginning they will write without dots. Yaumun, yadun. Okay. Banyak cakap. Dahaga. Naik sekejap. Bismillah. Okay. Sambung sikit lagi ya. Yaumun, yadun, bila when it's in the beginning, bila dia bermula, bentuk uya dia macam itulah. Dia takkan appear dalam keadaan tak ada dot, tak ada titik. When it's in the middle, again, it will not appear as without dots. Dia takkan ada ya dekat tengah-tengah perkataan tanpa titik. Mesti ada dua titik tu. Contoh kat sini, for example, Eidun dengan and Jamilun. Okay. Alright. The next one, at the end of a word, ya will look like original shape. See, kursiyun, qadiyun. Ya kalau kat belakang, dia akan kelihatan sama macam huruf dia yang asal, cuma dia mungkin kecil sikit permulaan dia tu. Dia tak sebesar yang original. Tapi kita akan perasan dia, we will notice it is ya. But sometimes ya at the end, not sometimes, most of the time, it will not have the dots at the end. Si kursiyun, qadiyun, dia tak ada. There is no dots. Tak ada titik. So without joining as well, it will look as it is, original shape, without dots, but sometimes it has dots. Okay, the example here, jari, Jariyun ma'nawiyun. Okay? So this is the basics that we have to know to make sure we recite Quran fluently. Ini semua basic yang kita kena tahu supaya kita baca Quran tu tak mengangkat, kita baca lancar lah. Contohnya baca apa-apa surah lah. Cuba kita cari Quran. Sikit je kita ambil sebelum kita berakhir. Kita ambil, we see at page 528, surah Al-Qamar. Okay, surah Al-Qamar from the start. Surah Qamar, daripada awal ayat kita ambil contoh dia. Contohnya bila kita nak baca ayat-ayat, or when we want to recite the Quran, we will, when we know all the shape of the huruf or the letters, we can recite fluently or fasih, kita akan baca dengan lancar. Tengok sikit ayat 1 sampai 6 je. Then kita finish. We will recite ayat first until ayat 6 and then we end this session insyaAllah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر وإن يروا آية يعرضوا ويقولوا سحر مستمر وكذبوا واتبعوا أهواءهم وكل أمر مستقر ولقد جاءهم من الأنباء ما فيه مزدجر حكمة بالغة فما تغني النذر فتول عنهم يوم يدعو الداعي إلى شيء نكر. Okay, insyaAllah, I'll see you in 2 weeks. This program or this session will be on every Friday, not every Friday, every 2 Fridays. Okay, insyaAllah. So I'll see you next 2 weeks. Jumpa lagi dalam 2 minggu, hari Jumaat. Di hari Jumaat aja sesi ni, program ni. Dan semoga kita dapat belajar dan baca Al-Quran yang baik selepas kita dah belajar dan fokus pada bacaan kita. Sehingga jumpa lagi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma arhamna bil Quran.